I want people to know that you can create an online business that you're passionate about, that speaks from the heart, that you're authentic about.
Welcome to the Badass Manifester podcast, keeping you inspired with high vibe content, bringing you the best manifestation and mindset tools, teachings, interviews, and answering questions to help empower you to get out of your own way and take massive action to make magic your everyday normal. I'm your host, Ashley Gordon, spiritual life and manifestation coach, helping women and spiritual entrepreneurs manifest more impact, influence, and income. It is my purpose and pleasure to help you wake up to the badass creator that you are. Let's do this. Hey, Danielle.
Thank you so much for having me. Oh my gosh, this is amazing.
I'm so excited. So I want you to reintroduce yourself so I have it and we can share it with everyone that's listening on the podcast too.
Yes. Okay. Hi, I'm Danielle Klein. I am a women's entrepreneur coach, and I help women in the health and wellness industry build successful businesses so they can maximize their income, maximize their impact on the planet, and have freedom and self-expression. And I'm also a yoga teacher, meditation teacher, health and wellness coach, and business coach, and I live in San Francisco.
Awesome. I'm so glad you're here. So obviously Danielle is in the Manifest Max Impact Mastermind. And obviously just by being here, she's manifesting her impact by sharing her gifts with you guys today. And she's really share with us what you're going to talk about today.
So today I'm going to talk about creating an online business. And a lot of times there's a lot of uncertainty that's going on in the world and a lot of fears, a lot of doubts. And creating an online business is going to be the new normal. I mean, with everything being shut down, everything happening in the world, having to practice social distancing, studios aren't open, we can't meet people face to face. Like the new platform and the new way of doing business is going to be online. So I'm going to talk all about creating online businesses, but also the mindset and the personal growth that also coincides with that.
I am so glad that you said that, because it's one thing to take the steps to actually just put your business online. And it's a whole nother thing to put yourself out there and have the right mindset and belief systems to support the business that you're creating. And I just want to presence that people are saying hi, and someone said, hi, Danielle, one of my favorite mentors. So you are getting all the love already. So where do you want to start? I completely agree that it's the new normal. And I shared this last night too. I feel so lucky. I feel so lucky that we have our businesses online and we can support people in this way. Don't you?
Yes. Yeah. It's amazing. And what's really awesome about creating online businesses is you can generate so much more income and so much more impact on the planet by reaching people globally. Because you don't have to just limit yourself to who's in your neighborhood, who's in your, close community of people, but you can branch out now into the entire world. And that's incredible. And that's what the world is kind of telling us right now is, okay, how can we reach more of the collective consciousness? How can we reach more people? And what's amazing about creating your own business and being your own entrepreneur, as you know, Ashley, is you can also not only make more money, but you can work less and make more money in that time frame. So, and it all comes down to really, what is it that you're passionate about? And when you live a life and create a business and create a career that you're passionate about, it feels so good and you feel in alignment.
Yes.
Right? Doesn't it feel so good?
Totally. And a couple people are just saying they're super pumped for today's topic because it applies directly to them. And Becca says, I love Danielle. And Dawn says, I'm so excited to see Danielle here. She's a born teacher with so much passion and motivation. And Margie is saying that she's watched you in this transition and fully embracing the online space. And just, wow, she's like, you're the embodiment of thriving at this point in time. And that's so beautiful. So
Thank you so much. Oh my
yeah,
gosh. Appreciate all of you.
yeah, it's really cool. So, let's just say that someone is now home. Their new normal is home. And they're exploring what they're passionate about. Like, where does one even start when it comes to taking this step?
Yes, such a good question. So, a lot of things that come up when I start mentioning about creating an online business is people are like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. I don't know what kind of business to create. A lot of certainty comes up, right?
Yeah.
And before I started my own business, I was nervous. I was lost. I didn't know where to begin. I was afraid to be seen. I didn't know I needed to go live. I didn't know I needed to create this whole online presence. And it took a lot of work in order for me to build up to where I am now. And there was a lot of fear. There was a lot of doubt. So I completely understand all those questions and uncertainty that comes up. One thing about fear and uncertainty that has really helped me, like a secret weapon or a secret thing to really bring into your attention, is your energy flows where your attention goes. And you know this, Ashley, for manifesting and law of attraction, is your energy flows where your attention goes. And if you're focusing your attention on what you're scared of or what you're stressed out about or what you're fearful of, you're literally fueling those feelings and making that your reality even more so, because your mind, whatever you're thinking, becomes your reality. So when you start to reframe and start to notice, like, wow, that's really powerful, my energy flows where my attention goes, well, I really need to be mindful about what am I thinking? Where am I pointing my focus? And when you start to do this inner work, certain points of personal growth and spiritual practices and spiritual growth, you are able to reframe your mindset into, okay, well, what is it that I want to create? What is it that I want to do in this life? And where do I want to point my attention and intention to manifest it and have it come to fruition? Does anyone agree with me here? Does anyone in the comments saying they understand?
Yeah, let us know that you are totally with us. And also I would frame the question to them and say, like, if you could do anything, if you could create any online business, right? And put your energy in that direction, like, what would you be most passionate about creating? We're just curious. Like, if you could be anything. I know a lot of people after they work with me, and I'm sure you've had this experience, after they have a coach, they're like, oh my God, like, I think I'm supposed to be a coach. Have you had that experience with people?
Yes. Yeah. And I love it.
Yeah.
That's actually how I got down this path of being a business coach. Because it first started out, I was a yoga teacher, meditation teacher. That helped me along my journey, and a fitness instructor, Legree fitness instructor, and then a health coach. And then I became a business coach because then I realized, wow, when I'm working with clients and when I'm working with people, they feel inspired and motivated to share those practices with other people and to guide other people through a transformation. I was like, yes, we need more of those people. So I was like, I want to be a business coach to help guide people in that direction, to give them the tools to be leaders in their own communities.
Very similar transition for me. It was very, very similar, where like I was working with a lot of different clients on different things. And it was really the women who were wanting to start businesses and be entrepreneurs that lit me up the most. And I had this belief of, like, I think at every level there's limiting beliefs. So like I was already doing spiritual life coaching, and then I realized, like, actually I want to help entrepreneurs. And then I realized, actually I want to help coaches. And it felt like a long journey to get there. But every step of that journey, I had limitations come up where I was like, well, I've never been a business coach before, so I don't know how to help other people build a business, but I have built my own business. And what someone told me that changed my life was, like, people that are coming to you to build businesses, they're coming to you for a reason. You wouldn't be given the opportunity if you weren't built to do it.
Yes, agreed.
And I feel that way with like people that have that inkling to take themselves online. You know, like you wouldn't have that inkling or that nudge or that calling if you weren't built to do it.
Yes, I agree. And I feel like when we've gone through that transition ourselves, we've gone through the personal experience, we can help guide other people through that same transition, which is exactly what you do. I love all of your coaching. I'm so in love with the mastermind that you created and everything that you're doing. I mean, it's amazing because you are helping others become leaders, become more in tune with themselves, and share their gifts with the world. I love it.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. Like that really does. And you're literally doing the same exact thing. And that's the beauty of being in the online industry and being a coach. And I think one of the biggest misconceptions is like, oh, there's so many people doing this thing, but no one do you. Like Danielle and I can both do the same thing and both have very high levels of success, but people are going to come to her that feel called to her energy, and people are going to come to me that feel called to my energy. And there's more than enough. There's someone for everyone.
Exactly. Yes, you said it perfectly. Because I mean, when we follow certain people, right? Like I follow certain people that inspire me, you follow certain people that inspire you, and we might not follow the same people because we are attracted personally to a certain way of teaching or a certain energy. And the same goes for everyone else, you know? Um,
Yeah.
there's never too many. Like we need more teachers. We need more leaders out there to help guide people.
You are
And
so right.
so coming back to that question is one question that I really ask people about my clients about starting your own online business or transitioning in that way is what is it that you're truly passionate about? What are you happy and excited about? Not from an ego standpoint, not from, where can I make the most money, but it's where your heart is. And once you find what your hobby or what you like to create or a product that comes from the heart because you actually love doing it, then creating your online business based on that passion, you are going to be amazingly successful and you will always feel fulfilled. Because a lot of times what happens is people look at, well, how can I make the most money? And then they're not coming from the heart. They're looking at this backwards way and they'll never feel fulfilled doing that because it wasn't something they're passionate about. Yeah, it'll make them a lot of money, but then a lot of things down the line can happen of depression, anxiety, or like having a void.
I just want to say, like, I think that's what's so unique about what you do is that, it's that fulfillment piece. It's not just about money. And like Danielle and I in the mastermind girls, we've had lots of conversations, and I feel like this is really important. Like lots of conversations around when we're marketing ourselves, how we feel individually about saying like doing this work could potentially make you a lot of money. Is that true? Yes. But that's not the why. That's not the why. It's a benefit, right? It's a byproduct. But what I love about the work that Danielle does is like she focuses so much on the soul of the entrepreneur, and she really puts the soul into the business. And how many business owners have you seen where they're just operating from money, 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 and they're actually super unfulfilled?
Yes. Thank you, Ashley. Yeah, I'm all about the soul and all about really connecting to the center of the heart, because I've had jobs in the past, 9-to-5 jobs and previous jobs where I was miserable. And it was because I had looked at, okay, how much money am I going to make at this job? I worked at Merrill Lynch. I also worked in real estate. I was like, oh, how much money can I make doing this? But then I was unhappy with it. And my drive was always health and wellness. And finally, I got this nudge from the universe like, hey, you're miserable. You need to do something. And it was depression that really was the nudge from the universe saying, something's wrong here. You need to get back into alignment with what you're supposed to do here on this planet. back into your purpose. And I was able to find yoga, and yoga helped me, meditation helped me. And through that process, I was able to really come from the heart versus coming from a standpoint of income. And that, yes, that's one thing that we talked about during the mastermind, is it was hard for me sometimes wanting to create my messaging, trying to attract my ideal clients of who I wanted to work with, and using those words of, you can create an online business to generate massive income. I was like, oh, I don't want to say that, because I want people to know that you can create an online business that you're passionate about, that speaks from the heart, that you're authentic about. And it was a little hard for me. I had to go past those limiting beliefs around money. And thank you, Ashley, for helping me with that, in order to put that in my spiel and in my marketing, because we all deserve to share our gifts with the world, but we all deserve to be compensated. We all deserve to live in abundance. We're all worthy of prosperity. And if that's being financially free so that we can be comfortable, that we can go on trips, that we can travel, that we can go see our friends and family, we can go on adventures, then yeah, I do want to help people who want to share their gifts, tap into their own unique self, and generate that money so they can provide for themselves and for their family.
Ah, it's so well spoken, so well said. And thank you for sharing that, just because I feel like it's so relatable to others. And I feel like that is a belief that holds people back, because they're like, oh, I don't want it to be about this or about that, or whatever their story is that it's about. That could be the one thing that's holding them back from actually doing the thing. So
Yes.
we have a lot of comments and questions. I don't know if you see them, but should we dive into them a little bit?
Yeah, I don't see them, but let me go.
I'll read them to you. So Margie said, the abundance that we create is way greater than the cash flow. Yes.
Yes. So true.
I want to make sure I say this name right. Is it Thuy? I think it's
Twee. That's Twee. Hi, Twee.
Twee said, hi, Danielle. So grateful that you're holding this today. Yay. Becca said, yep, I've had 9 to 5s where I made pretty good money, like the one I just left, but I don't feel good when I'm working at these jobs. I know I've made more, and I know I'm aligned with helping people and making others happy. Yep.
Yes.
Dawn?
And I love what you're creating, Becca.
I know. I love what she's creating too. She said Twee. Okay. Dawn said, I found what I'm passionate about years ago, and I've been doing it. But now with this new situation of being shut down by the quarantine and with technology in general, I'm looking at how to put it online to continue to help people, and even in a bigger way, but still need to work through what's stopping me from doing that and how to go about it. Should I actually get through the fears? Wow. Are you friends with Dawn? Did you bring her in?
That's my mom.
That's your mom?
Yeah.
Stop.
That's
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
I was going to say, you need to sign up for Danielle's program.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I have been working with her on her limiting beliefs so much lately.
Okay.
And it's amazing too, because especially working with my mom doing all this, is I see the similarities and I see the things that have been passed down from her generation, from her parents, from her mom to me. Yeah. And then things I've had to work through, and I'm like, oh, my mom needs to work through that. Mom, we got to get on this. Like,
we got to break those generational ties.
Yeah.
So good. Erica said she's so thankful she can catch this live. Awesome. Okay, so I know you have more to share. I'm going to let you go. I keep interrupting you.
Oh, no worries. Okay. So that's the first question that I like to ask people about creating an online business is, what are you truly passionate about? What is it that really drives you? And then the next question is, who do you like working with? How do you like serving? Who do you want to be of service to? And that's when you get down to like the business development terminology. It's who's your ideal client. And when you really narrow it down to who do I like working with, that will kind of really gear you in towards more narrowing down what type of online business you should create. And just a quick piece about me and how I found what I'm doing is when I was working those 9 to 5 jobs and I was unfulfilled and miserable, I was depressed. And to me, I thought when I started journaling and started doing more personal growth and spiritual growth, I thought, okay, well, who do I want to be of service to? I don't want to be around people because I wanted to isolate myself. I was afraid to be seen. I felt judgment from others. I was judging myself, and I was letting others dim my light. And it was until I finally pushed past through shedding off those limiting beliefs and emotional releases and healing from past experiences and trauma that I finally found clarity and confidence with who I truly was, not who society was trying to tell me to be, not from what other people were trying to tell me to be or dictate who I should be, but revealing who I was and what I had to do to serve the world in my purpose, in my dharma. And then I realized I want to help people. So I was able to shed off that and go past that state of depression and anxiety around other people. And I noticed, wow, when I shed off those layers, I actually want to help people. I want the more community, the better, because we all support each other. And we all are part of a collective consciousness. And learning that too in my yogic philosophy and all of my trainings is we are a collective consciousness. We are all breathing in and we're all magnetic of each other's energy. So for me to think that I want to isolate myself, it's just not possible because we're not separate. We're all one. We're all connected. It's kind of like when you think about the ocean, and the ocean is this vast ocean. And we don't think about the ocean as every little droplet is a singular individual thing, right? We just think of the ocean as a collective. And that's the same thing for us. Like, we're not just individual energies that need to be isolated. We are a part of the bigger picture. We are part of this universal energy. And it's amazing that when you really come back to your true self, you are confident in who you are and you get more clarity with what you should do in life and what type of business you want to create. What do you want to leave behind for future generations? What do you want to leave behind for your family? And yeah, I mean, it's amazing, but it's through the inner work. It's through the spiritual development, personal development that has to be weaved in with the business development to make it work. Because like you said, Ashley, those limiting beliefs will show up through every layer. So when you start to think about who I want to market to, or, you know, what launch I want to do, if you don't address the spiritual connection you have to the world and coming from a place of your heart, then you'll feel stuck. Those limiting beliefs will literally be like roadblock obstacles preventing you from moving forward. So it's all about all three pillars, which is what I teach in my programs.
It's so powerful. And, you know, Tony Robbins always says that building anything is 80% your energy and your psychology. And then the other 20% is the strategy behind it. So like everything you're saying is so in alignment with the truth. And it really resonates with me. Like anyone can build a business. You can have a step-by-step. If I said, do this first, do this second, do this third, anybody could do that. And we would all be millionaires, right? But that's just not how it works. It's not about the step-by-step. It's about the energy that you bring to each step and the beliefs that you have to work through at each step. So I totally agree. And you're getting a lot of love on that analogy. Someone said, I love everything you're saying. Following your heart can be so scary. I relate to the idea of owning limiting beliefs, of our own limiting beliefs holding us back. I'm going to keep reminding myself of what you mentioned, Danielle Klein. Energy flows where your attention goes. To focus on my true self, to move forward. Thank you for all your wisdom and honesty. This is Lulu.
Thank you. Thank you, Lulu.
Margie said she loves hearing about your transformation. yeah, it's really powerful to hear about someone's personal journey and transformation of how they got from like where they were to where she is today. It's like amazing.
Yeah.
So thank you. Keep going. I know you have more.
Well,
More nuggets.
thank you. I actually led, so Lulu was a part of the virtual meditation I just led this morning through Anchor. It's a local studio I teach at, but they started to do virtual classes during this time. And it was amazing because they had never done the virtual online business yet. But because of what happened in the world, having to close studios, having to practice this social distancing, they were like, okay, we have to go with this change and go with the flow and create virtual meditations. And it's amazing how fast they were able to just go, boom, okay, we got to do it. And it's been on their mind for a while. They wanted to create more of a global reach, but now the universe was like nudging them, okay, now's the time to do it. And it was amazing. So thank you, Lulu, for joining me for this morning's meditation. And the meditation today was all about trusting the universe, surrendering to the universe, because we often, and I agree, and I've gone through the same thing, is the sense of needing to control everything and needing everything to be perfect. And, and it can trickle down to the way someone's chopping up something in the kitchen, like, oh, chop it this way. Or, oh, don't do that yet. Do
Oh my
this
God, that
first.
is so me.
Yeah. Could you relate? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm
Because
like, my husband, every time I'm like, you're going to burn that. Why are you loading the dishwasher like that? Why are you doing this? I'm like, oh my God, I got to stop.
I know. It's so bad sometimes. And I'm like, okay, I gotta stop. I
Yeah.
have to stop controlling every situation, because in my mind, I'm like, I like everything to be efficient. I like everything to be quick. I want it to be productive. And when I see something else happening, I'm like, oh, that's gonna not be as good, or it's gonna take longer now. I want to say it because I want everyone to get there quick and fast. Which makes me a great coach, because I'm like, I want to get you there quick. I want you to get that transformation right away. I don't want to lag this out. I get impatient with that. But my point of that was, my meditation today was about surrendering to the universe, trusting the process. Because when we try to control every aspect of our life, we, one, get very overwhelmed and stressed about it. And two, when we're not getting what we want, we get frustrated. And once we finally release the sense of control and trust that the universal consciousness, spirit guides, God, divine, whatever you want to call it, is really providing you with everything you need in the right moment, perfect for you, you can finally be relaxed and you can finally be at ease and find this peacefulness, and also be excited for what's going to happen or what will come. So meditation is a big one for me, and tapping and emotional clearings to really get past those limiting beliefs that come up, because we get so stuck in them, that self-dialogue, we get stuck in it, and then it fuels us throughout the rest of the day, because our energy flows where our attention goes. And if our energy and focus is constantly about needing to control something, then we'll never be happy, first of all.
Oh, so true. So true. Oh man. And like that is such a great point, because, you know, I think people say like, oh, I don't know how. I don't know how to do the thing. So here's an interesting thing. Before we got on this call, I was speaking on this Empower Hour for women in recovery. And we were talking about like creating something that you wish existed or you wanted to create. And this one girl was saying how she wanted to create a little shop for her crochet business on Etsy, but she has so much in the way of doing that. And we worked through some of the beliefs, but I only had a few minutes with her. And I said, well, how would it feel for you to go online right after this call and make an Etsy account? Like, how would that feel? You know, that's the action that she was going to take, but she literally could not bring herself to take that action, because she says she felt like there was just so much fear in the way and so many limitations in the way, and she just doesn't know what it is. But in my mind, I'm like, it's so easy to just go on there and make an account, right? But like, that's the problem. And that's the solution that you help people with, is like breaking through all that stuff that's in the way from doing the thing that's going to move you forward. Right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why I created the 3 segments of my online retreat and my program. Why it's so important to weave in the spiritual development, personal development, and business development. Because the limiting beliefs will freeze you, literally freeze you, so that you don't go after your dreams.
Mm.
It did for me. It did for me for a long time too, because I was afraid to be seen. I thought that I kept needing to have more trainings, more knowledge, that I didn't know enough in order to be a coach or to go out there. And finally, when I shed off those limiting beliefs, I was like, I want to be a coach. I want to help people. I want to do this. So yeah, it's amazing. And it's so good to be able to see those transformations right before your eyes, of helping people like that, like helping that woman really take the action steps.
Yeah.
And go through the steps.
Totally. What would you say for the women listening? Like, I'm just curious for everyone that's tuned in, how many of you, because I think a lot of people feel like they want to help people, and that's really good. Like, that's normal to feel. And I'm just curious, like, how many of you feel like you can help people in a capacity of taking it online? And then if they do that, I know you said the first step is like figuring out what that passion is, and then who you want to help, which I know could be a hard process for some people because there's so many different people in the world. But what do you think is like also the next level for people to get into action around doing this?
The next level is taking the steps to actually do it. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, doing the groundwork of the mindfulness and the mindset is first, but then the next step is really taking action. And if you don't take action, it's not going to happen. And if you don't ask for help to take the action, then you'll never get answers. I think asking for help is the big thing, because if you personally don't know the next steps of the actions you need to take, then a coach is going to help you, because they have a certain set of organization and a plan and a roadmap, a framework in order to get you there. And the action steps are going to be actually implemented right away so that you can see results right away. Because you can sit there and dream about it all you want in the comfort of your own home. You can sit there and meditate and manifest and visualize it happening. But if you don't take the action steps, you're just going to sit there in the dream state, which is great. Sitting in the dream state is wonderful, but you got to take some action steps in order to get it going.
Yes, yes, you got to make it happen. And I think like now literally could not be a better time for it. And I know, like, I mean, I got to tell you, I know that I'm launching something right now that's for coaches, and I know you're launching something right now for people that are wanting to transition into an online business, and people are enrolling, you guys. The business is not stopping. The business is going to keep going. So whatever, I think there could be limiting beliefs around like, oh, well, are people going to be able to invest? Like, you still create your own abundance and you still create your own reality. So if you are deciding like, this is the direction that I'm now taking my life in, and I'm moving in this direction, and I'm going to invest in Danielle's online retreat and make this happen, then you better believe that you're going to cultivate abundance, because you're saying yes, and the universe is always going to support you and always going to meet you halfway. So I just want to put that out there.
Yes. And the other thing about that is when you start an online business, you're not just limited, like I mentioned in the very beginning, you're not just limited to the people living in your neighborhood or in your community live. You are globally reaching every single person in the world, like billions of people in the world. So you're not going to be limited.
I have the chills. You just said that. I have the chills.
You're not going to be limited financially at all. I mean, the client base is huge. And I mean, and once you think about, well, how much do I want to make in a year, or how many clients do I want to help. Like you have 7 billion or 8 billion, is it now, that you can help. Like, okay, well, I'm just going to pick, maybe 100 for this year, maybe 1,000 for this year. And they're out there. They're waiting for you. Everyone is waiting for you to connect. Everyone is waiting for you to share your voice. Everyone's waiting for you to share your unique gifts with the world, because we all have unique gifts. Every single person was designed perfectly as you are, for a reason, for a purpose, for a calling. And it's just that you need to tap into who you are, what you're passionate about, and then create it, manifest it, take it into action. And the world will thank you, and future generations will thank you.
Wow. We're getting so many great comments. Margie said, oh my gosh, yes. I used to have this huge list on my phone. I'm going to do this. I'm going to create that, this idea, that idea. But I was all ideas and no action. I was blocking the flow of the abundance by sitting on my dreams. Each time I do something, it's like, really? That was easy. But for real, I know. I can totally relate to that, Margie. Totally.
Yes, Margie, I can relate too. I always have a million ideas. Every day I'm like, oh, Mom, guess what? This is an idea I came up with. Or, oh, my husband, Taylor, I have this new idea. Like, seriously, too many ideas, like way too many ideas. And you have to pick which one you feel passionate about. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll write them down, and I'll think about all the steps I'll need to get there, or how driven am I in this idea. And then I realize, that's a really good idea. I hope someone else does it, but I'm not really passionate about it. Or I might be passionate about it for a certain period of time, and then I'm like, yeah, but I'd rather do this. I'm more involved, and my desire is this. And having a coach really helps you figure out what ideas are in alignment with you.
Yeah. I love the actionable step of like figuring out the passion, like the ideas, and figuring out which ones are most in alignment. Because I was like jack of all trade my whole life. And my mom used to tell me that, and it used to like really annoy me. She's like, Ashley, will you just focus on one thing? Like I couldn't just nail down one thing. I was all over the place. And I felt like I hated when she said that. It really triggered me, but I'm glad that she did, because she was right. I just didn't know what that one thing was. And you won't know until you until you have a coach or a mentor to help you pull it out, to help you really just unpack it, because there's so much that can be created. Shina said to you, 7 billion clients, clap, clap, clap. Shout out Shima, our mastermind babe. Erica said there's been something intriguing to me about how large the online community is since I was very young. I know this is where I'm meant to be.
Yes. Ah, yes. Okay, so Erica, what are you passionate about? What are you creating? Are you already creating something now?
She is in creation of something. I know this girl. I know she has a Monat business, and there's talks of her wanting to become a coach.
Ooh, yes.
Join the dark side, the light side.
The light side, yes.
Side. Oh my gosh, so good, so good. So
I just want to piggyback on that about all the ideas.
Yeah.
Oh, and my mom mentioned it too. The essential oils, the chakras, the cooking, the baking, the organizing, on and on. Yeah. So what happens is I get to kind of be like that too, Ashley, like the jack of all trades. Like I want to do the essential oils. Oh, I want to do the herbal teas. Oh, what other health and wellness stuff can I do? Oh, holistic health this and holistic health that and organic cotton here. And it's like go into all these different things. And unless you finally gear into one thing, it'll never be as successful. And I didn't realize that until more recently, when I was like all over the place, and I'm like, I'm trying to get this essential oil workshops going. I'm trying to get this new herbal thing going. I'm trying to do this women's wellness, self-care rituals class going. And I was all over the place. And then finally, when I narrowed it down to becoming a coach to help other women in the health and wellness industry become leaders, then I was like,
Nailed it.
that's it. Oh, I don't have to go in all these directions like a chicken with my head cut off, like doing all these things. I can just narrow it in on one thing. And it feels so good to finally narrow it down. Like I still like essential oils. I use them all the time. I use herbs. I'm into all the holistic stuff, but I don't need to be all over the place doing it for my business.
So perfectly said. And if you're listening to this and you're like, I need Danielle to help me figure this out, she can. So I know you're launching something right now because we're planning it all out. So do you want to share with everybody what it is that you are creating?
Yes. So I am creating an online retreat, and it's a week-long retreat that we go through the personal, spiritual, and business development to get you creating your online business, to get you into that entrepreneurship, mastering entrepreneurship, so that you can share your gifts with the world and generate that income, have a life that you want to live and you're excited about every single day, and having freedom. So the 1 week long retreat, we dive into all of those different categories, and we do live stream sessions that can also be replayed later. I also have recorded meditations and mindfulness practices that you can listen to on your own time, and also journaling prompts and workbooks that guide you through the whole week to get you into action fast. And like I said before, like I'm all about efficiency and I'm impatient, so I like to have things be quick. Um, there are things obviously you have to be patient for and in the right time. But for my week-long retreat, I'm giving you all of these tools to get to where you need to be and where you want to be fast, because the world needs all of these leaders now. It's no time for waiting anymore, no time for hiding, no time for hiding under those limiting beliefs. Break through them now. The world needs more coaches, more spiritual leaders, more meditation teachers, more yoga teachers to help guide people out of that stress state. And the week-long retreat is online, so we get to do it virtually. And if you're interested, I have my danielleblends.com website, and you just click on online retreat and it has all the details. Oh, you're muted, Ashley.
I said, amazing. Thank you so much for sharing so much goodness with us today. I dropped all of your links into the chat, and feel free to interact with everyone and answer any questions afterwards. Margie said, Danielle, yes, that's the transition that stood out for me. Very clear mission. More power is coming through from your content. Yes.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, Margie.
Awesome. And that's the power of magnetic marketing and learning your mission and learning your niche and who your avatar is and all that good stuff. So if you had one more last little nugget, I mean, you did just kind of drop one, but I like to ask, what would it be?
I would say that the world of the unknown is, and this time of uncertainty gives you limitless possibilities. Like the potential to branch out in any direction, it's unlimited. So right now is going to be the time to take on the trainings, take on the coaching programs, dive deep into your personal growth and spiritual growth to be able to share your gifts with the world. And it's really limitless. Like anything that you want, anything that you dream of, it's possible.
You want it, you got it. You want it, you got it. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much. And check her out on Instagram at Danielle Blends. All of her links are linked up in the show notes on the podcast and in the chat. So thank you guys. If you catch the replay, #replay, let us know what your biggest takeaway was today. And if you guys could drop your biggest takeaway, drop it in the comments so we know how much you love the training. Super grateful. Wow. I got to say, like, I have the most amazing women in my mastermind. Like, they're all just like freaking game changers, changing the world. And that's really the point of all of us light leaders coming together and doing our thing. And tomorrow we'll have Jenna, who is my co-coach. She is my business manager, and she's a coach and a therapist. And she's just amazing at everything she does. She has a podcast called Middle Finger to Perfection, if you want to check it out before tomorrow. And she's going to share all about some really good things that I can't remember right now, but you'll love it. Hold on, let me see what they are. Okay, Shaken To Awaken, Jenna. So tomorrow she's going to talk all about uncertainty and control and choosing what is within, not without. I love that so much. Yeah, and we're going to talk about, we'll talk a little bit more about online business and masterminding and the power of coming together as a community. So excited. Danielle, thank you so much. And we'll wave goodbye to Facebook. Thank you, guys. Hope you love this.
Thank you, Ashley, for everything that you've created. Thank you for having me be here. And thank you, everyone, for joining.
Yes, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the Badass Manifestor podcast. I love manifesting Mondays with you, and there's so much more in store right here. The best way to manifest love is to give love. If you loved what you heard today, subscribe to the Badass Manifestor podcast. Leave a review on iTunes. Let me know how much you dig the energy here. All of my social is linked up in the show notes, so screenshot this episode, tag me on Instagram, and let me be part of your real-time journey. For more info on me, feel free to go to my website, manifestwithash.com. Repeat after me. I am my own power source. I am the master of my energy, and I deserve everything that I desire. Go get them.